Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I'm looking at some new sound system components. This is the new PA system I'm looking at for the bands that I'm going to be mixing. I'm kidding, I can't even get that out loud and not make a joke. This is the QSC AD series, the Architectural Design series. So this is the AD sub and the AD satellite speaker. I'm working on an install that needs some low profile kind of stuff. So I'm just evaluating the system in my workshop before I work on the install. So basically I'm just feeding a mono source because I don't have enough 1/4-inch adapters to make the amplifier work. So, you know, just real world scenario. Certainly not product placement by any means. This is just, again, like most of my videos, something that I was looking for information about and couldn't really find anything online. So I figured if you were doing the same thing, maybe you'll discover this video and smash that like and subscribe. The system that I'm installing is going to have 4 of these satellite speakers and then also the subwoofer, which I've kind of been laughing about this as I've been working with this in the shop. These really do remind me of like the Bose 90s home theater speakers. I just can't get that out of my head, that I'm installing speakers that I hate so much. So system works with satellite speakers and subs. The sub on the back here does have a crossover section on it, and you can also run these as 100-volt or 70-volt line systems, which is pretty cool. So if you are using transformers. So let's take a look at the back of the sub here. So the subwoofer will act as a crossover. You have your different outputs. So right now I'm feeding the subs with a subs plural, sub singular, with a separate feed from my shop mixer. So this is going into this low Z mono stereo input. So right now I'm just hitting the left channel for mono, as you can see there. And then there is also this mono stereo selector, but it has a transformer in here, which is pretty cool. So, you know, depending on how many of these things you're running, etc., you can hit your transformer at different taps at either a 25 watt, 50 watt, or 100 watt. The only thing that's a little weird is that the transformer setting on here, there's no indicator on this little selector right there. So you don't really know where you're at. Up and down is low Z, which is, you know, pretty interesting. So here's your 70-volt settings, here's your 100-volt settings. And then again, you can run your satellites here out of the top or bottom, depending on what you're doing. So if you're looking at this, it does say high pass filter 200 hertz to 200 to 20K on these bottom ones, so that it is giving the speakers, the satellite speakers, a high pass. And speaking of the satellite speakers, these little guys, I mean, I don't believe that there is a tweeter in here. I don't know that this is a coaxial cabinet. I don't think that it is. So, you know, you're getting full bandwidth out of a single driver in here. So the way that I'm going to configure this system is, like I said before, there's 4 of the satellite speakers. So I got this ART SLA4 amplifier. So this is a 4-channel amplifier. So I'm going to be running 2 of the speakers off of channel 1, 2 of the speakers off channel 2, and then I'm going to bridge 3 and 4 for the sub. I mean, it's going into a conference room. I can't imagine that this is, you know, going to be a really thumping system. But hey, you never know. I'd rather have more power. So I'm going to try it like that. I mean, you know, most of the stuff that is going to be played back through the system is going to be Zoom calls. So, you know, it's obviously more of an emphasis on vocal clarity with this particular system more than having a bunch of bass. But, you know me, if I'm going to put a sound system together, it's going to have some sub. So I may end up grabbing another one of these power amplifiers and running all of the little cube speakers on independent channels, just if I need a little bit more control. But at the moment, I don't think I need to do that. So let's take a look at the back of these speakers. Or actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's take a look at the sub, because you can actually mount this on a wall. So the way that I'm kind of going back and forth on this particular box to decide whether or not I want to ceiling mount it or I want to mount it on the floor. I'm thinking ceiling mounting it at this point just because it gets it up out of the way, and I spec'd a white subwoofer, so it'll blend in the ceiling and be an eyesore on the floor. So it gives you 6 mounting holes here. Each one of these has a little T-nut that's recessed on the inside here, so that if you want to put the little mounting plates that they have. And the way that those mounting plates work is like this. Oh, I lied. Grab the wrong one. So they give you this guy that gets mounted to the sub, and then there's this other piece that goes in here like this to lock them all together. So you can mount this, you can hang this on a wall, or actually the conference room that I'm putting it into actually has unistrut on the ceiling. So it's going to be easy to do that. I've been playing music through this afternoon. I'm running the system in mono at the moment, so the sub is a singular output, and the satellite speakers are singular output, and it sounds okay. I mean, you know, I don't know that we're going for the most pristine playback with this, you know, especially because the subwoofer is giving us so much low mid and also sub information, just because, you know, it's I don't care how good your processing is, you know, speaker diameter still matters. So here's what I've noticed. I've had these speakers here for, you know, about a month, well, about 4 months. I've been, you know, just needing to evaluate this before I do the install, and the day has finally come. And what I can tell you is some of the plastic on these is already starting to yellow. So looking at this backer portion of the subwoofer, this just covers this back inputs like this. This is already starting to sort of yellow. And the satellite speakers are doing that also. I mean, obviously you're going to get a little bit of skewness because of the white balancing of the camera in the room, etc. But that is a little bit of a miss as far as QSC goes. I mean, I don't mean to hate on the stuff, you know. I mean, they're certainly not paying me to say nice things or bad things about them. This is an independent review of just gear that I bought. So looking on the back of the amplifier here, I've got these the ART amp. I actually really like these ART amps a lot. I have the SLA1 in my studio. They're really, really solid, and they sound good, you know, very transparent. Fan noise isn't super loud. You know, these things do have a pretty serious heat sink on here. And then the other thing that I really like is it has rear mounting holes for mounting to your mid rail in your rack, which I think is cool. So on the back of these speakers here, it's they give you a little Phoenix connector back here, and that's how you wire everything to the wall. I just have some 4-connector speaker cable that I had this set up as channel 1 and 2, but it turns out the bad thing about these amplifiers is you either have to use their Phoenix connector in the middle there, you have to use 1/4 inch, and I only have 2 1/4 inch XLR adapters. So enough of me yakking. Let's hear what this thing sounds like. Okay, so that little excerpt that you heard, this is a band called the Hunter Tones, if you want to check them out. One of my all-time favorites. I mix them occasionally, so it's hard for me to obviously find YouTube-friendly music, so that is what you're listening to is a German broadcast mix of them while they were playing on a German TV show, and it's instrumental with no vocals, so hopefully YouTube won't ding me for that. So. But obviously, if you want to check out that band, check out the Hunter Tones. So that's the quick system. Let's listen to things in solo. So let's check out the top speakers alone. Okay, so that's the sub. Let's listen to everything flat with no EQ. So I'm going to bring the sub EQ out. So obviously quite a bit of gain reduction happening there. So let's bring the top in. So this is flat. Balance that sub a bit better. So sound-wise, they're okay. You know, I do have a DBX Zone Pro that I'm going to put in front of this system, and I think that, you know, with a bit more EQ and some time alignment, and also listening to this in stereo, it's gonna sound really nice. You know, I knew that, you know, a cabinet of this size isn't going to be, you know, obviously the most pristine, you know, playback device in the world. But, you know, again, this is designed to, you know, be basic playback for Zoom calls, conference calls primarily, if you're watching a training video or something like that. You know, so here's some interesting things about this. So, you know, when you mount these, there's just these two screw holes right here. So what we did, and, you know, just a little bit of a flex on the engineering department here at LM, they made me this little bracket. So these are going to be mounted into Unistrut, and, you know, this is a little 1/4-20 Unistrut piece, and then they made this part for me out of marine grade plastic, using a T-nut here. So this is, you know, these can hang like this, and again fire down. So you know, this is the system is going to be covering a 12, it's either 12 or 14 person conference room table. So you know, again, the sub, as far as frequency goes, it's is very boomy. You know, you're definitely getting, you know, upwards of 200 hertz, you know, and then upwards of that. I don't know what the crossover slope is. So, you know, if it's a gentle crossover slope, you might be getting 300 in there, you know, too, which just makes it, you know, a little bit boomy, because you're getting into that low mid, that low mid sound versus you know, a true sub. So, you know, if you go back to the channel EQ that I was using for the system, you know, we're knocking out boomy frequencies like 100 hertz, you know. And then again, it's just a very simple 3-band EQ. So, you know, it's not a system EQ, very, very broad cuts, not anything narrow. So again, I'm very excited to see what this actually sounds like with some processing on it. But, you know, the thing that I was curious about with this system is just how it mounted, what it looked like. You do get full 360-degree articulation with these mounts. You just loosen this little Torx nut, Torx screw right here. You know, and again, these are very cool, you know, for any type of commercial installation. So anyway, I'm going to do a video on the conference room install, and I'll walk you through this all done, or you know, walk you through it all when it's done. But again, I just wanted to make a little quick video, which is turning into not so quick anymore, about the 80 sub and satellite speaker. So if you have any questions, let me know. I physically have these things. They are going into our office, so it's not even like it's a client site. If you have a question, if you want to see anything, just let me know. You know, I don't have 8 billion followers. If you want to drop me a comment, I read them and I try to respond. So, you know, be nice. It's not my social media team, it's me. Anyway, have a good day. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.